আপনারা দেখছেন পিবিইউ নিউজ, কোচবিহার পঞ্চানন বর্মা বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ের নিজস্ব ইউটিউব চ্যানেল।
Dear students, I hope you are all well in the house in the lockdown period. I am also well. So, before lockdown, I discussed about the various topics for the fourth semester, the special paper, course number 404. So, today I will also discuss a topic for fourth semester students for course number 404. So, I discussed before lockdown period in the classes unit 1 and some topics of unit 2 also. So, today which I will discuss, that is the topic very important, was the origin, characters, development of Mansabdari systems of in the Mughal India. During the period of Mughal rulers, how and when Mansabdari system was introduced and by whom, and what were its impacts in the state, in different aspects of the states. So, today I will discuss, and before discussing, I want to remind you that the materials, many study materials I have uploaded in the university website and your group, WhatsApp group also. So, you all students will find in the university website or WhatsApp group. So, today I am discussing the topic. Before lockdown period, I discussed that the rulers, Mughal rulers particularly, who ruled over the country in the medieval period. So, the medieval period was started and it could be divided into two phases, the early medieval period and medieval period. So, the early medieval period was started after the death of Harshavardhana, the 7th century, and the medieval period was started particularly 1200 AD by the Turkey rulers. So, in this context, I also wanted to say that we can divide the medieval period into two parts: the rulers of Sultanate or Sultani rulers and the Mughal rulers, which included in our syllabus of fourth semester. So, we have seen that in the Sultanate period, regarding the agrarian sectors or land revenue sectors, the rulers, which was the most important sources of revenue collection, the rulers, Sultani rulers and Mughal rulers also imposed different types of laws and regulation in time to time, and it was varied rulers to rulers. So, we know the system, Iqtidari system, which was included, which was imposed in the Sultanate period by Iltutmish, and all these things, Sultanate period, before realizing it, one thing should be remind you that all these things were originated by the emergence of feudal system in India, which was introduced since the 7th century AD. We know after the downfall of Gupta Empire, and more specifically we can say that after the downfall of Harshavardhana, there was no concrete empire or rulers. There was no central power. So, for the lack or for the absence of the concrete rulers or empires or central power, the anarchy was going on all over the country. There is no central power or concrete rulers. So, all over the country there was anarchy, and quarrel among the rulers was going on, and the regional power was originated. So, in the socio-economic sectors, there emerged a feudal system which was originated in different time to time in whole over the world. So, in our country, feudal system, first of all you have to know what is the feudal system. Feudal system was a system where the intermediaries emerged in the agrarian sector, in the agriculture, or land system, which was not seen up to the Gupta Empire. Because we know that in ancient period there was a direct relation between peasant and ruler. But beside the emergence of feudal system, in between the government and peasant, there emerged intermediaries classes. These intermediaries classes were oppressors. They did not cultivate lands directly, so they earned money from the peasants. So, the surplus production or output of production which are divided among the ruling classes, all the intermediaries and the state, different administrators, officials, among the all officials, these were divided. So, on the passage of time, this feudal system changed in different times by the different rulers. So, I have mentioned in the Sultanate period, the Iqtidari system was introduced by Iltutmish and was followed by later rulers, Rajia, Rajia, and then Balban, Ghiyasuddin Balban, Alauddin Khulji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq to Ibrahim Lodi. And after the Sultanate period, a new dynasty came to our country, the Mughal dynasty. We know in 1526, after the battle of Panipat, first Panipat, Babur, who won the battle, defeating Ibrahim Lodi and founded the Mughal administration. And after the death of Babur, Humayun who ascended the throne. But in short period of his rule, he had to repulse from the country. So it was short spell of time in between the Mughal rules. So in between Humayun and his son Akbar, the Sher Shah, he came to power in India in a short spell of time. So Humayun re-established his empire, but he could not last it long time. And after his death, his son Akbar ascended the throne. So actually the Mughal dynasty, which was established by Babur and consolidated by Akbar, the great rulers. So today, which I am discussing the Mansabdari system. This Mansabdari system was actually introduced by Akbar. So this type of administrative systems were seen before Akbar in Sultanate period also. The Iqtidari system, Jagirdari system in the agrarian sectors. But during the rule of Akbar, it was immersed in taking different characters and different ways. So first of all, you have to know that what do we mean by Mansabdari system or Mansab. Simply, it was a rank. In general sense, it means a rank. All the officials or all the nobles, all the administrators who got salary from the government, from the treasury of the government, were called Mansabdars. Mansab, it was a rank. But particularly, we know that all the officials or administrators or amlas were not practically the Mansabdars, because Mansabdars had to recruit some military or armies for safety and security of the state. They had to maintain, and they had to keep armies or soldiers, which had to provide during the emergency of the state to the king. When any war took place in any parts of the state, king ordered all the Mansabdar to provide or to deploy the armies in particular place, and they had to place all the armies with their soldiers and horses, elephants, all kinds of tools they had to deploy or place. But it was seen that during the period before Akbar, there was no systematic way for recruiting and placement of soldiers. So it was a lapse, it was a weakness for the Mughal administration. So, in particularly, historian Jadunath Sarkar, who also opined that the Mansab, it was a rank, the rank, and who called the Mansabdars, who had to, I mentioned earlier that who had to recruit or maintain soldiers or army or military. So, it was opined by Jadunath Sarkar also. Historian Shirin Muzbi, who pointed out that it was a evaluation, period of evaluation. At the initial stage, means after ascending the throne of Akbar up to the 11th year of his administration, there is no Mansabdar. All the officials or administrators or nobles, they got salary from the state. But in the 11th year of his administration or of his reign, they were imposed some duties or assignment to maintain or to recruit some soldiers, and they had to obey by the order of the empire. So, in the 11th year, they had to recruit from different places the soldiers or armies. But there is no difference between the Mansabdars and other soldiers. In the 18th years of his administration, 18th years, that was 1573 and 74, they introduced in the concrete way the Mansabdari system. Mansabdari system. 18th year of his reign initiated the Mansabdari system, where indicated specifically the number of animals of their salary, because before 1573 and 74 there was no system where particularly enumerated the number of soldiers, the numbers of horses, the numbers of animals or number of soldiers. There was no system. But in the 18th years of his reign, this system was introduced, by which the system, every Mansabdar had to maintain properly their soldiers, their animals or their tools. And on the basis of their soldiers and tools or animals, they got money or got salary from the state. If they became failure to provide or to deploy soldiers or tools in the state, at the time of war, they had to punish, or they could not pay properly the money or salary. So, in the 18th years of his reign, this system was introduced. And Another change took place in the 40th years of his reign, that was 1595 to 96. Akbar originated the Jat and Shawar. Jat and Shawar, these two words mean the Mansabdari system. Jat means which indicated the salary of a Mansabdar. Jat means the rank of a Mansabdar, for which he got particular salary or facility from the state. Suppose in the reign of the Mughal period, the Mansabdari, in the Mansabdari system, you know, the Mansabdar minimum various types of ranks, minimum 10 to 10,000 soldiers had to maintain by them. The rank of 10 to rank of 10,000. So, up to 500 soldiers, those nobles who maintained or who kept up to 500 soldiers, they were called Mansabdar. And up to 500 and up to 2,500, those nobles who kept up to 2,500 soldiers, they were called Amir. And the soldiers and the nobles who kept above 2,500 up to 5,000 soldiers, they were called Amir-e-Umda or Amir-e-Azam. And above 500 to 10,000, above 10,000 soldiers, those nobles kept, they were only the princes or relatives of the king or great nobles of the king. Only they could keep or maintain 10,000 and above soldiers, and very few in the Mughal state who could got the rank. So, this system was evaluated in different phases of the rules of Akbar, who actually initiated and changed the rules and regulation in time to time. And we also know what is the mode of recruiting Mansabdars, how they recruited Mansabdar in the country. We know that Akbar actually he was not a orthodox king. He wanted to establish a nation state. Actually, the nation state, it was modern concept. And nation state, which was initiated in the Europe at the time of the Renaissance, after Renaissance. But in the state of Akbar, in Mughal administration, some characteristics of nation state was seen in the reign of Akbar. The country, he recruited the Mansabdars of different classes, different castes, different religions, etc. We know that in the Mansabdars of Akbar, there were Mansabdars of Pathans, of Mughals, of Mirzas, of Hindustani, that means Indian Muslims, Marathas, Rajputs, etc. That means almost all the religious people in the Indians and outside India, they were recruited and placed in the Mughal state. So, Mansabdar were recruited from the different places of the state by the recommendation of Subadar. Subadar, there were 15 Subas in the Mughal state who recommended for the recruitment of soldiers, and the Mughal rulers ultimately he recruited the soldiers. And we also know that the Mansabdar, there are different classes of Mansabdars. Abul Fazl, he mentioned in his Aini Akbari that there are 66 classes of Mansabdars, but actually many historians, they did not accept the views. Actually, there were 33 classes of Mansabdars, and actually Akbar introduced the Mansabdari system for the giving salary. Instead of salary, they were given Jagir, Mansabdar. So, in the Mughal state, there were 3 types of Mansabdars. Mansabdars who got salary directly from the state, they are called Mansabdar in Nagdi, and Mansabdars who got lands or Jagir from the state instead of salary, they are called they were called Tongkha Jaigir. Tongkha Jaigir means they were given Jaigirs instead of their salary. And there was another types of Jaigir called Waton Jaigir. Waton Jaigir, it was actually given to the Rajput Mansabdars for their credit and for their different efficiency of war, efficiency in the different wars of the state in different times. So, these 3 types of Mansabdars were seen in the Mughal state. So, it was a important pillar of the Mughal administration, particularly the Mughal administration, particularly during the reign of Akbar. And we also know that the Mughal administration consolidated by Akbar, and he initiated different new characters or new things regarding various aspects of the state, political administration, land revenue systems, agrarian system, trade and commerce, industries, religious policies, all these fields Akbar initiated many new aspects of the states, and which was followed by the later rulers Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, etc. So, it was important pillar, and base of the Mughal state. But it should be mentioned here that after the death of Akbar, the Mansabdari system in the reign of Jahangir seen different types of weakness, and during the reign of at the last stage of Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb, different types of crisis and weakness were seen in the reign of Aurangzeb, and ultimately this weakness is led to the downfall of the Mughal empire, and which was shown by the famous historian Satish Chandra. Okay, thank you.